Watch what you bet here on That Betting Show at sportsbookreview.com. The Trailblazers head north, or should I say stay east, and take on the Toronto Raptors. They've had no problem mowing down the Eastern Conference at this point right now. Blazers versus Raptors, -5, total 227.5, moneyline split, plus 175, minus 205. Live from the Scotiabank Center, 8 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN, Teddy. Money makers, those Portland Trailblazers, 35-26 against the spread on the season, 15-7 versus the Eastern Conference alone.
Yeah, they're red hot right now as well. 4 straight wins on this 7-game East Coast trek. It's a long road trip, and the Blazers might be a little bit fat and happy here, coming off a nice win at Boston for, again, their 4th straight win on the trip, their 5th straight win overall. They've been dominant, as you mentioned, against the East, 18-4 straight up against teams from the Eastern Conference. They are catching points tonight. And boy, you want a quote, a bet on quote? Listen to this one from Damian Lillard. We're focused. Our minds are right. We're playing for each other. And we're getting it from everybody on both ends of the floor. It's been consistent. You get that type of consistent effort from multiple guys, everybody in the rotation. This is what it looks like. I just think we came in Wednesday. We said we won the first 3 games of the trip, but so what? Let's keep doing what we've been doing. All that being said, they will not have one key piece. Enes Kanter has passport issues and will not be able to make the trip up to Toronto for Portland. All that being said, I like the Raptors are playing bad ball right now, coming off a big win over Boston. That was really keyed on their defense. Nick Nurse, that was as well as we've helped each other in a long time. We're pursuing the ball early, making them make another play. And then when they would zing it out to someone, we would be right under that guy, and we did it all over again. We contested shots really well. Interesting game. Not a game I'm even close to betting on, to be perfectly honest. Maybe you take a look at the under in this one, but the Blazers, not interested in stepping in front of them right now. The Raptors, they're playing good ball. Don't know that I'm excited about stepping in front of Toronto either. So slightest of leans towards the under for this better.
Teddy, forget about home court advantage in that one. Seems like home country advantage there where you block another player and just say, hey, he's got some passport issues, going to have to sit this one out. Good on those Toronto Raptors squad. See if it plays out from there. Greek Freak goes to Hollywood to battle with Bron Bron. Should be a highly rated telecast in this one heading tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific, ESPN live from the Staples Center. The one thing we do know about the Bucks, going on the road has been profitable, Teddy. 18-11-2 on the season. The Lakers, and sometimes you say that Yankees tax, maybe there's a Lakers tax, or they're just being, looked at too much, so to speak. Lakers, 25-34-2 against the number, 2-5 against the spread as a home dog, Teddy. Not paying dividends for Bron Bron and the boys right now.
Yeah, they're going to be home dogs a bunch in the next couple of weeks. They've got a little, a tough scheduling stretch right here. They play tonight against Milwaukee, at Phoenix tomorrow, and then home games against the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Celtics. They could be home dogs at least twice during that span. I'll be interested to see what the number is against the LA Clippers. Lakers probably favored in there. But, one thing the Lakers are doing right now, they're burning LeBron. LeBron played 37-plus minutes in each of the last 5 ball games. LA got the win and the cover for most with the 6-point victory over the Pelicans that they absolutely needed. But certainly from a defensive standpoint, the concerns are still there for the LA Lakers. All that being said, Giannis isn't right. He was held to just 24 minutes in the win over Sacramento on Wednesday. That was their 6th straight win. The Bucks are playing really good ball right now. And the goal was to play him even less in that game. He played just 19 minutes when the Bucks were building a lead, and then he had to put him in the 4th quarter. And Giannis wasn't in rhythm, and the rest of the lead evaporated. It's worth noting, in overtime, game on the line, Giannis is on the bench. He just played 2 seconds in the OT when the Bucks needed to inbound the ball late. So that's a concern here if you're going to lay points with Milwaukee tonight. The best player may not be on the floor during crunch time.
It's March, Teddy. That means March Madness. So why don't we go to a place that hosts March Madness in the first four? That's Rhode Island, heading on the road to the University of Dayton Arena in Dayton, Ohio, to take on those Dayton Flyers. 7 p.m. ESPN2 tonight. Rhode Island 11-16 on the season, 3-9 against the spread on the road, and 6-9 against the spread versus A10 opponents. Dayton 12-14-2 against the spread. Kind of interesting here because when you think of Dayton, you used to have a really nice home court advantage, but not so much in the ATS category, Teddy, coming in 5-9-1 against the spread at home and only 7-7-1 against A10 foes this year.
Yeah, and the money's come on the underdog in this ballgame. They're not betting Dayton, and a lot of it is spot-wise, all right? The Flyers, my clients and I were on them at UMass earlier in the week, and that was as easy as it gets. They blew them out by halftime, 72-48 finale in that contest. And it was all, I think they hit 14 out of 17 from the floor in the first half. I mean, they literally could not miss. That was kind of the story the first time they played Rhode Island. They won that game 77-48. They opened the game with a 12-0 run. They led by 21 points in the first half. Head coach Anthony Grant worried about taking them for granted in the second meeting. Quote, "This game against Rhode Island, the second time we played them, will be a big challenge for our guys. Our third game in 6 days. We've got to make sure we're at our best to get to this next game." Now, Rhode Island, dead last in the country. There's 351 teams in the country, and Rhode Island is dead last in three-point shooting percentage, 26.6% for the season. That first game against Dayton where they got crushed, 3 of 19 from the floor. Well, last time out, they hit 10 of 21 from on the arc, and they blew out GW. Then ended a 5-game losing streak in which they played a lot of the top teams, but that was an explosive win. Head coach David Cox, the basketball gods finally took care of us for the last 3 or 4 games. I've seen it in these guys' eyes. I've seen it every day in their work ethic. These guys have lived in the gym. They've been extremely coachable. They haven't started making excuses or pointing fingers at one another, even though it's been a tough streak. I just thought, man, these guys have a tremendous amount of character, and at some point, they'll be rewarded for their hard work. Tonight, we were rewarded for it. Can understand why the money has come on the dog in this game. It is not a spot I'm interested in laying the points with the favorite.